Maybe the room, love, or the spirit of service. At the terminal halls of airports of America and Europe, pianos are put and any of the sky travelers can play them. But this creates the excellent scenes that linger along. Striking bang bang carelessly, no one tells off. Playing mischievously, ding dong dang, no one mentions. Showing the music he practices at home, it's good. Performing the favorite song, praying when she feels alone, it's welcome. An impromptu, okay. Being born of a child prodigy, wonderful. Challenging the music most hard to play, great. Boasting of technique, accepted. Everything is okay. Those that make the scene fantastic are the musicians of no name and a piano cheering them up. Those musicians are a toddler, a prodigal-like boy, a sales clerk of a shop near the piano, a man of construction worker looks who seems mistook his job, a white-haired woman whose home seems to be the street, a tall and thin old man who may be a stubborn in look, a woman in a white wheelchair, needing a help to change chairs. Men, women, the old, the young, white, colored, the rich, the poor, the all who take a touch, feel, and play on it, that piano loves and favors. And the fruits that born here are surely the scenes of heartwarming. Challenging, the revival of talents forgotten, an appeal of the existence, relieving from the stress, frustration, the rearrangement of the broken dreams of his young days, the thankful reflection of how happy days past, a full of the whole, and the space that answers with them with claps, present the peace, liberty, consolation, and hope. And the piano is there for it, waiting someone's coming, day and night, with being worn out. Do you know the history of the human is that of someone is waiting for someone? There was a son without his father's noticing he was grown up big. He became to draw himself in another world far from his father. He could leave his father as far as possible to the country he imagined happy. But that world was the place of all his dreams and life were lost. The scene floating up in his sight just before closing his life is his father's house full of abundance, full of life. He stood up and could carry his feet to his home. He can see his father's great welcome, special pleasure. In the prodigal son story of Jesus in Luke chapter 15, it shows that we have the place to go, and our Father, the God, is waiting for us in the heaven with great concern. And God didn't hide his figure as in a heat haze. When his time had come, he actually showed himself to the world. He chose a man named Abraham, BC 2100 years, to make the father of a nation, Israel, of old age. The people were stubborn, apt to betray the God, easy to go to the evil. But God did not regret his choosing Israel. He kept putting his providence on it. The book of God's promise, the Bible, was given to them. The birth of the Savior was from them. The prophecies for the world were heard to them. The way to heaven, the knowledge of the truth, the life we get eternally, was shown by the one of them, Jesus. The God who was revealed in Jesus, our precious, was not in the shape of awesome divine. To the ones who were blind by the world, he was seen as a stone the builders rejected. To the ones who were soaked in the worldly custom and standard, he was deemed as a rustic. But who could imagine that by this feature of him, so many peoples have been saved and invited to the heaven? As that piano, anyone can get near to him and be graced, can touch him freely and be called his son, can knock and get answer, can stretch hands to him and get healed, can pray him and opens eyes to his own prodigy, can accept him and become new. And anyone, even he is a prosecutor, can meet him and have a new mission. Everyone can hear him and put a period to his failed outlook of life. Jesus came to this world to be this piano for us. Someone struck on him, spoke ill of him, turned his back to him, was angry with him, hung him on the cross, poke him his side. But his love to us was unshakable as a rock, faithful as a stronghold. Before long, that piano will lose its good shape and power by the passers-by. But it is happy. Jesus will satisfy himself too, seeing his seeds, us, who is a people who accepted his love and became same looks to Jesus. For this Jesus came to us. For go back to the heaven, we are so in iniquity that Jesus must be the true Lamb of sacrifice. Before God put his begotten Son to grief, as a symbol of Jesus on the cross, God had showed to Israel a right. For their iniquity, a lamb was killed on the yard of the tabernacle. The blood was poured on the ground, and the remnants was discarded outside of the city. The Son of God, Jesus, accepted this fate. His blood was poured on the ground, his body was worn out, and was laid in a tomb. He is the bread from heaven, he says. Eat it, he says. Drink it, he says. It is for our iniquity. It is for we have the citizenship of the heaven, for we go back to our Father's country.